Are you tired of seeing nothing but scantily clad blades all across Xenoblade Chronicles 2? Wouldn't you prefer to play as a scantily clad alien man instead? So, enter Wulfric. This guide has been a long time coming, and the reason why is because I knew he was a mandatory unit. Sorry, not mandatory. I knew you were guaranteed to get him across the story mode, and I know that a lot of people want to see how to get the most benefit from this particular character. And let me tell you guys right now, this guy is exceptional. Wulfric has the potential to have some of the highest damage in the entire game due to the fact that his Affinity Chart synergizes so well with each other. So let's have a quick look at what makes him so amazing. The first thing you'll notice when you're looking at his charts is the fact that he tends to synergize well with playstyles that involve spamming driver combos. So you go break, topple, launch, smash, that kind of thing. And what's going to happen here is the preternatural ability will give you increased damage by a maximum of 150% if they are toppled and launched. It's really, really strong. Not to mention that he also has the Power Unleashed ability, which gives him an additional 100% damage when the affinity is maxed. You want to build your team to be around this guy. If Wulfric is the center point, you're going to do insane amounts of damage. This is the kind of blade that you can get very early on in the story. I believe as early as like chapter 3. Yeah, you get him about chapter 3, and then what makes him so good is the fact that like you can totally put him on Rex and then build your other characters to be around that. Like if you want to have the Topple, so Poppy Alpha could be the one to do the Topple, or if you give Morag Shield Hammer, then she'll be able to do a Topple, and then of course Zeke will be able to launch, Nia with Knuckles will be able to launch. You can just build and play around with that, and Wulfric will do insane amounts of damage at all times. Not to mention that Power Unleashed stacks with Huntress Chemistry, or the shoulder-to-shoulder auxiliary cores. So if you give that, you'll have affinity immediately, then you have this maxed out, and then you can use the auxiliary cores for max attack increases. So I think at like max attack 4, it's 45% extra damage. So at max affinity, right off the bat, 145% damage. Then you increase that with like the additional damage gotten from the preternatural when they're toppled or launched. And if you fight against toppled enemies and you use your level 1 blade combo, then you're going to have 150% damage. It's a lot of damage all at once, and again, the more and more you play around with him, the more and more you focus on your driver combos, then you're going to have a really, really good time with this person's damage. Also, just for fun, let's also give him an additional 50% critical damage, because he just needs to do more damage. That's amazing. They've really built him to be like that. So in terms of auxiliary cores, you would want to get either Hunter's Chemistry or Shoulders to Shoulder, depending on how you prefer to play it. If you prefer to have enemies catch you, then Shoulder to Shoulder would be the one that you would look for, but if not, Hunter's Chemistry tends to be the best overall. Don't forget that if you put Hunter's Chemistry on all the other blades that are already out in your other party members, that as soon as the battle begins with Hunter's Chemistry 5, you will have max affinity within the first 2 seconds of the battle, just like that. And also you'll get affinity max attack 5 if you can, but 4 you can get from his unique quest line. It's very easy to get, and if you want to get more of them just for other characters, try to fight the Crimson Derrick over on the cliffs of Moritha. He's that giant bird enemy that you'll encounter, and that's pretty much how you would do it. Wulfric is the kind of character that, again, you need to build your, you gotta build your team around this guy if you want to get the very best, and it's actually not that hard to do. Like I said earlier, all the other drivers, they can totally do driver combos without you. If you're playing as Rex and you have the spear moveset on him, one of his moves is a break. So if you want to go ahead, you can feel free to sort of summon this guy on Rex first, and then once you reach post game, if you want, you can use an overdrive to pass him on to someone else. I would personally prefer putting him on Zeke, as you will see in this movie right now, but you know, it's all up to you if you want that. But if you put on Rex, he comes with a break, and then, you know, just hypothetically, Tora would come in with a Topple on Poppy Alpha, and then Nia with Knuckles on Nim, she would do the launch. So that would be plenty of sustained damage, just like that. In terms of party options, of course, like Poppy QT is the best at doing breaks, so I would prefer having her doing the breaks, whereas Rex would come in with Pyra or Mithra to do the Topple, and then And then of course Poppy again would do the launch. She just synergizes really well with Wulfric, so if you want to have a good character for going through the story mode, Wulfric's your guy. And if you want to have great sustainable burst damage for your post game, Wulfric is your alien guy. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead, cut the video, and I'm gonna take you guys to the demonstration. Alright, so here we are at Temperantia. We're going to go ahead and fight against Leonine Sadie. This is basically just a higher, stronger version of the Tyrannosaurus Rex monsters from the same area. And just like with before, you want to make sure you're always in front or to the side, otherwise he's going to do that insta-kill tail move on him. So already we got pretty lucky, we got the free Topple fairly early on. In terms of accessories, Tora is basically the same. I gave him the beta scope as well as a World Tree drop. That's going to give him more damage as he switches, and he's going to be switching quite often right now. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Supersonic Spin to try to get some aggro off of me. One of the nice things about putting any of the spear users really is that they all have some form of aggro reduction built into them, so we're definitely going to take advantage of that. Okay, so now he's Topple, that's great, that's extra damage for us, and now he's launched. Let's go ahead and use the smash. See if we can get some goodies off him. Now, see, that's one of the things, too, about having him on Zeke. It's quite slow in comparison to what we're used to seeing, especially, like, any of his attacks. But the nice thing about Wulfric, though, is that in comparison to all the other spear users, he's very much inclined to being on, what's it called, a high damage, heavy focus on driver combos, which you'll be seeing here. Leonine Sadie actually has a lot of HP, but it's pretty easy to chunk him down once you start building up your meters. Let's see if we can get a Topple. Can we get a launch too? Because yeah, we see that he's on Poppy QT, should get the launch. Never mind. That's fine. So once he gets a Topple again, I actually can expend my level 4 combo. It's going to do some serious damage due to the fact that it's going to keep him on the Topple state all the time. Or we can wait for the launch, because remember, when you have a Topple or a launch, you do extra damage, and then, what's it called, Wulfric's abilities do even more damage based on that. And not to mention, since we are fighting against a super boss type enemy, or a unique monster in this case, he's actually going to be doing even more damage. So do you know what? I'm going to be the one to give us the very first orb on the Earth type. For those of you guys that don't know, if you do a stage 3 blade combo, then you will have an orb created. So no launch. I'm gonna wait until the very end. Oh, cool, we got the launch. And here we go. So this is pretty nice. It's also really, really fun to do the quick time events with Wulfric. It's very savage and very fun. Okay, so that's gonna be our first orb of the game. And as you see over here, we're already at maxed out affinity, so that's gonna be no problems for us. Alright, can we get a Topple? One of the other things too about having any driver combos in this game is that there's a bit of guesswork on behalf of the AI. They tend to just wait around and see if they're gonna build up their meters first before they go for a driver combo. But that's alright. Again, I have the beta scope on Poppy QT, and that's 3 hits, 3 chances, 3 even chances of getting a break, as you can see over there. And we got ourselves that. Do quite a bit of damage here. Oh, I was a little bit too late on getting the Topple. That's okay. So here we go, build ourselves some more. Yeah, he's already chunking him down really quickly. And also he's Earth Element, he's resistant to the damage that I'm doing right now. Okay, so I guess Dark Orb is going to be the very next one. Let's see. I would love it if we can get more Topples here, but that's okay. Oh, he switched over to Mithra at the last second, my goodness. This is what I mean by the guesswork. It's really funny, but again, it helps to have a safer strategy for these things, which is what Wulfric does. He's all about building those combos. Okay, so he's gonna switch back? Nope. Okay, there we go. There's our Dark Element. Okay, so in terms of my accessories, I actually have a Galaxy Cube. A Galaxy Cube gives me a 60% chance of doing an extra auto attack. As well, I have a Break Stone, which increases the damage of my auto attacks as well. This is very auto attack centric, just because we already see that Wulfric has plenty of damage boosts on him, so it should not be a problem at all when we're, doing nothing but auto attacks, waiting for our level 4 combos. And if they can go ahead and topple him, that would be very appreciated. There we go. And do I see a launch? Wait until the last second to get that launch. Okay, I guess not. Very last second, the meter's not even there. Look how much damage he's chunking him down for. Yeah, it's a very visceral, accessible way of fighting in this particular fight. Okay, so... Oh, do you know what? I shouldn't have done that. I should have just waited for the... I should have just waited for a another attack, and then I could have followed up with a lightning attack. That's okay. Or, we could have Rex... No, probably not. It's not likely that we can have that finished. That's fine. One of the other nice things about having a Galaxy Cube is that it helps you build up your skills even faster, or your arts even faster. This means that you can spend more time using your skills and building up, in comparison to, you know, not doing that. Okay, again, we're gonna hopefully a launch will come up. No, I guess not. See, like, we've only done this like a couple of times already. It's at half health. This thing has way more HP than the Tyrannosaurus Rex enemies from this area. Okay, so what's going to happen is I'm going to go ahead and build a lightning orb. I'm going to do that by doing 2 earth element attacks, so a stage 1 and a stage 2. And hopefully the Tora is going to follow that up with another Gaia Crash. Let's see how it goes here. Okay, we probably don't even need to worry about bursting the orbs either for this fight, because we're just doing so much damage with all that affinity. Again, this stacks with the Affinity Core. Okay, there's the Topple. Oh, I'm gonna launch him. I'm gonna do the launch myself this time. Here we are. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do some damage with the launch. Zeke actually synergizes very well with Wulfric. For those of you guys that don't know, I'm not going to spoil anything, but eventually Rex will reach a point where he can have any blade, regardless of whether or not they were unlocked on him. What makes this so useful is the fact that you can actually be more free with putting different characters on others. Of course, there is also the random element to deal with here, but the thing is, it should be a little bit easier to deal with, since, like, the roles are pretty defined, and eventually it's become a little bit easier to have more and more overdrive protocols available. But the general rule is that you would just have less people on Rex overall. But Wulfric is definitely an exception, that if you want, and you want to go through this main story as easily as possible, Wulfric and Pyra also work well together. Alrighty, so this is an Ice Wind. Also, I have to make sure that I'm not directly behind them. See, this is the tricky part too, when there's a tank. Sometimes they might position themselves so that the rear of the dinosaur is facing towards one of your party members. But again, like, we can build up meter really quickly in this one. Guys, we're gonna get ourselves the break, and the Topple. And the launch! Oh, I wish I didn't use up my power smash. Here we go. I'm gonna do some extra damage on the launch now. The damage ratios on this attack is really, really good, just because all the multipliers that you can get. It's so useful. I'm really glad that this is a very easy blade to get as well. Okay, so that's going to be a break. Do I see a Topple? Oh, there's a Topple. You know, let's go ahead and go for the launch. Here we go. We might as well use it since it's here. And if Tora would like, he can switch to a smash. Ah, he was close. Okay, that's fine. And we're gonna go for the Frost Typhoon. Okay, we could finish the fight right now, I believe. Pretty sure we could finish the fight. Unless he's already almost dead. I wasn't actually paying attention to the health bar, I was busy looking at my meters. Yeah, we can definitely finish him off. So, you know what, we're gonna go into Wulfric, and we're gonna let the numbers fly. Oh, smash. Can I get the smash? It's very slow, but I want to get it. Aww. Pity. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and use a stone element, and hopefully that'll prompt Rex to switch characters. Here we go. Alright, that's going to be curtains on this fight then. So yeah, that's the thing about Wulfric though, is that he's a very easy to get into character, provided that you become more and more familiarized with your driver combos. So you can see here, that's insane damage because we also have him toppled. Also, Tora, what is Tora doing right now? Goodness. Yeah, provided you have like the topples and launches all packed in, then you're going to do a very, very good job here. Alrighty. Okay, I can go ahead and use Wulfric a second time. This won't give us the same boost because it's the level 2 combo. The level 2 combo isn't particularly useful just because it's completely focused on you having what's it called? It's completely focused on you having low HP, but because of the way that the healing works in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, that might not be easy to accomplish, so that's something to keep in mind. I wonder if I'd be able to get the full burst. Probably not. That's okay. So Wulfric's up next. Nice. Okay, and yeah, go QT Pie one more time. Do some crazy damage here from all this overkill. Oh, we were close. That's okay. Well, we get the finisher, so that's gonna be nice. One other thing I just want to remind people that are watching this video, if this is like the first one that you've seen on this channel for Xenoblade Chronicles, is the fact that if you overkill enemies, then you are going to have a higher chance of getting rare drops. So ideally, you want to be using chain attacks as like the finisher every time you're in the market for looking for items, particularly against bosses like this. Not only does it help you skip past the enraged states that bosses are built into, but also it lets you yeah, it lets you like sustain yourself, it lets you play around with more teams. It's a good way to sort of focus your playstyle as you get into the late game stuff. But the thing about Wulfric, he doesn't need to do that because he's all about that instant burst damage. So yeah, that is going to do it for our Wulfric guide. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is going to be the first one for 2018 by the time this airs, and I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of people play around with Wulfric. Again, for recommendations, you totally can have him on Rex. Don't worry about having regrets if you accidentally put him there, because he's definitely worth putting on characters like Rex or Zeke in these kinds of situations. Anyways guys, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Take care everyone.